Hi everybody, this is Anne Marie Myers with Interlinked. Thank you for joining my channel today, and I want to share with you some ideas and ways that we can better manage our finances for ourselves personally, within our marriage and or partnership, and also with our children as well. So it's important that as we are building our wealth, that those three areas are all touched on, they are worked on, and we are executing plans that we can use on a daily basis to strengthen those as we are moving forward in our wealth. As we start to make more money, it is of the utmost importance that we start making a plan. And when I say that we start making more money, my journey of financial freedom started a long time ago when I sat down and I made a plan, I made a budget. And we all need to do that. It doesn't matter how much money we make, we have to have a budget and we have to stick to it. We cannot spend what we have not yet made. That is just disastrous for us financially. So, in that, make sure that you start doing that. Make a plan. Know how much money that you're bringing in every month and start writing down what's going out. Start making little adjustments to things that can make a big overall help to you in your finances by scaling back or deleting out of your life. And as an example, a lot of people purchase these huge cable packages, $180 a month so that they can get HBO and Showtime and things like that. Nowadays, we're able to just get a smaller package and start streaming some things, and you can really, meet all of your viewing needs on just like $50 or $60 a month. So that's just an example of some things to start looking at so that you can start making those adjustments. And you yourself need to be accountable for you and what you're spending, and be more conscious of that as you're striving to reach your financial goals. When it comes to having finances shared with your spouse and or partner, it's not always easy, especially when you're first starting out and your personalities are coming into play here. One of you may be like a free-spirited spender, you only live once, live in the moment kind of a person, and that tends to equate dollars that you don't have sometimes. And the other one is more of a saver, a little bit more reserved and held back. And when you have those two opposite personalities, it can be a little bit difficult. Now, when my husband and I first got married, I'll never forget this because he just, talked about it again recently. And it cracks me up. Um, I had shared with him that I like to spend any extra money that we have on experiences, doing things, he and I, and or with our family. That's just how I am. And I shared that with him within the first couple months that we were married, and he said, "What? Uh, I like stuff. I like buying stuff," and that's so funny because that's just the perfect example of two separate views that you're trying to merge together when you become a couple and your finances are now playing out together. And so we need to take those things into consideration. We need to sit down with each other. And we did do that way before we were married, and we talked about our finances. And now that we've been married for many years, we still do that. And I shared on another video, we sit every New Year's Eve at a dinner and we discuss with each other the goals that we have accomplished financially together as a couple and what we strive to do in the next year. And with that, sometimes, we have to remember that things that we set our goals for, we're not always going to reach those, and we can't play blame games. We are a team, and you have to work as a team. And when you do that, all things are disclosed. You don't have one person charging up a credit card that the other person doesn't know anything about, or spending money saving cash that the other person doesn't know, even if you're going to do it for like a surprise vacation or whatever. Those things are being dishonest within your relationship financially, and you want all things out on the table. You want transparency with your finances with each other so that you have a healthy financial relationship with each other, so that you can meet your goals together as a team. You have to build your team together. And when you do that, you'll accomplish way more than if you did it all by yourself, and usually faster. So it is vital that when we have somebody in our life that we love and that we are going to make our life with, we have to be sure we keep our relationship healthy financially by having a transparency with each other. We have a team work ethic together, and our goals are set together as a team, never individually. So if that's something that you are striving for, then be sure that you have open communication with each other, and that those are the things that you are discussing, and get them down on paper. Share your ideas, listen and communicate, and you will reach your financial goals much faster. As far as having children and finances, if you do, you know how grossly expensive it is to have children. And I know a lot of people think that having babies is the most expensive. You have to buy a lot of diapers, and if you're not nursing, you're buying formula, all these things that it takes to start your family, and it is financially taxing. And I want to share with you personally that I thought the most expensive time in raising my children is when they were getting ready to launch. So those later teen years, as they start driving and as they start searching for what they're going to do, what their purpose is in their life and the job and whatever it is that they're seeking to do, and then you are doing your best to be a help to them, it costs a lot of money to do that. And so with that, we have to remember, wherever you are with your children within your life, that we need to set financial boundaries with our children. And when my husband and I first got married, we sat all our children down together. There's 7 of them. I have 4 and he has 3. And we used to have some family meetings. And one of the first family meetings that we did together, we sat our children down and we told them what we could and what we could not do for them financially. And we stuck to those. And we did it because we didn't want to not support some of the older ones in an endeavor that they may have financially, and then as we gained wealth and the younger ones then had something that they were shooting for, a goal or some type of endeavor that they were going after in their career and or whatever their life was calling them to do, then we would step in and help the younger ones. We decided we were not going to do that because we did not want to have that favoritism, and children notice stuff like that. So we wanted to make sure that we stuck to our word, and what we said we were going to do or not do was exactly what we did. Here's something worth mentioning as well about children. I was in a group of women, friends, some not close friends, but I consider them all friends. And I was really surprised in learning that some of them were supporting their children in things that their spouse had no idea about. Um, you know, our children are with us for a fraction of our lifetime. And we want to be sure that they understand that we have respect for our partner, our spouse, and that anything that we do with them or for them, the children, is disclosed to our spouse. Doing things for our children that the other person in our life has no idea of is really setting a bad example. And I know that that may sting a little bit for some of you, and I don't mean to do that, but I'm just sharing the truth with you. It just sets a bad example. It's teaching them that our relationship with our spouse is secondary when we are putting them primary. And we want to be sure that they understand that our money is our money and that we want to do things for them and help them and bless them, but we are not going to do it in a dishonest way with anybody else, and we're not going to do it to put our own self in some type of financial jeopardy. And I remember in that meeting as well, we had said to our children that we will never co-sign a loan for you. None of you ever. Have some of them asked? Of course they have. They've gotten themselves in a pinch, or they were, in a where they were feeling they were financially very strapped, and so they did ask us, and we declined. It hurt a little bit to do that. However, I just knew from all that I've read about finances that you should never co-sign, and that's even for your children. And if you decide as a couple that you can do that, you've decided together, and that's what's important. My husband and I decided that we were not going to do that. We did not want to be financially responsible in case something ever happened in our child's life to where they could not fulfill that obligation, and then we became responsible for that. We ourselves are trying to move forward and make our own goals and do our own milestones in life, and we just decided that that was not wise for us to do. So here's the thing. As you start making money and you have relationships with people, it's really important to communicate with everyone where we stand with money, and that our relationship with them is way more important, and we want to keep that healthy. And that is the main goal that we should have when it comes to our family, our spouse, is that they know they are important to us, and we will always take time with them and let them know their importance to us. So then how do we start taking better care of our relationships when it comes to finances? First of all, what we went over, ourself. Let's make sure that we are staying accountable to ourselves, that we're writing things down, that we're trying to scale back on things that we can, that we are being really truthful with ourselves when it comes to our money. So make a plan, make a budget, stick with it. And in our relationships with our spouse, we want to have transparency and communication with them. We want them to understand that our relationship with them is important, that we are not going to make financial decisions without them, and we are going to work together as a team to reach our goal. We need to stay faithful in the course that we had told our children that we are going to do for them financially. And hey, if you win the lottery or you become a YouTube sensation and you just make it big and you're able to do more for them, of course, do more for them. But don't put yourself in a financial disaster or stressful situation to give them things that they actually can and should be working for themselves. It's big life lessons, really important. And with that, those are some things that this week we can think about, that we can start executing, and we can make plans for as we are moving forward in our relationships with ourselves, with our spouse, and with our children. I hope you found that information helpful. If so, please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And if you ring the little bell, it'll let you know when upcoming videos are released. All right, you guys have a great week, and I will see you soon. Thanks.